give your heart and soul. Run lads, shoot lads, give us all a go. Run lads, shoot lads, you can do it yet. Come on Newport County, oh, bang it in the net.
So today's the day, it's Wembley, League 2 playoff final. Really feel confident about it this one. Lloyd, what do you reckon?
Confident, 2-1.
2-1. I'm saying 2-0, 3-0. We're going to take control of the game early on, and you know, and as long as we don't crumble like we did at Forest Green, I think we're going to see the game through, you know, from an early lead. But who knows? It's a playoff final, anything can happen. Obviously doing the Matchday vlog now because the last one I did at Forest Green, it was well received. I had a lot of good feedback, so I thought for today, we got to Wembley, I thought I'll do one last one. Hopefully we'll have someone who can do it on a more permanent basis next season when fans are allowed. So we're in the hotel now. We're about to jump on 8, book out the hotel, jump on the tube, and then we'll be seeing you all there. We're going to go to the Arch Hotel, so hopefully we'll get a good atmosphere going. Catch you later.
And Brahmi.
And that. At the Arch Hotel now, we're a few hours away from kick-off, and going to talk about the game for a little bit. So I thought I'd introduce you, well, not reintroduce you to one of our old favourites. It is the one, the only Jeff Williams.
Yeah, alright.
So Jeff, what do you reckon we're going to do today then? How can you see it panning out?
I'm very confident, Chris. I know it's difficult sometimes. You don't like to be too confident. You don't like to because you think it's a bit churlish, disrespectful to the opposition. Yeah. But I just think that the mentality that we've got now, having been unsuccessful 2 years ago, I think this time that's the motivation factor to drive the points on. I think we're playing well at the moment. I think no problem. The momentum is there. Forest Green was, you know, that was such a seesaw match. The second leg was, you know, we finished on a high. I have to ask her a name. We're coming into this on a high, and I'm confident.
We've been in good form, haven't we? I was saying earlier, for us it is business this time. I think 2 years ago it was just nice to be in a playoff final. If we went up, that would have been great. But I don't think anyone really expected to really get there, you know, during the course of the season. I mean, overall it was a great season. But this time, I think we played such good football this year, and we've been up in the mix at the top end for so long. I think it's more of a, you know, we deserve promotion this time. So I think we're going to mean business when we get in there.
One of the things I noticed in the semi-final of Forest Green at Rodney Parade was, you know, watching the football, watching the boys play from the back in the flesh, made me realise that we actually look like the side that belongs to the higher level. It just seems that we look like the football inside. The only thing perhaps we have had this year is scoring the goals. But on a day like today, I just think it'll all come together. I've got a funny feeling. This is a left field thing I'm going to say now. It's a little bit unusual thing to say, but I've got a funny feeling that Nicky may now come to the party today. I might be totally wrong, and I might look stupid in a few hours' time. But I think at some point or another, there's a guy there who's been making all the right runs, but he's lost his confidence. You know,
that goal of Forest Green would have done all the world.
I honestly think, like I said, I might look totally stupid in a couple of hours, but I just really feeling he will come to the party today. And if we get the goals, we know we can. We know if we're sensible, we don't go gun goals, we keep our shape where he stays, play it from the back. You know, and a rigid back five when we need to back. I really am. I'm just really confident, and I hope I don't end up with it.
Oh no, I mean, it's a playoff final. I mean, if you don't go into it feeling confident, then what's the point in even going into it at all, you know?
I don't think we were, like the other day, Swansea, by all accounts, I couldn't see the match, but so many people said to me that Swansea didn't turn up. I don't think that'll happen to us. As I said before, Chris, you know, we know what it's like to come out here and go disappointed, and I think that's the ammunition, that's the stomach in that dressing room today, and I think they're going to You know, they're used to Wembley. Some of them have had success here, but most of the boys that will remember 2 years ago. That'll fire us up, I think.
But you say that, I mean, we have got a fair few players still here who were there 2 years ago who still feel hurt by that game. So they're going to want to right that wrong now. And the one thing that's going to enter their mind is that they don't want us to be the new Exeter, you know, get to the final all the time and start losing in the final all the time, you know.
Somebody said to me, Mark Pepper actually said to me on the way to the ground today, that if we lose today, we may be levelling up with Exeter City as the principal bottle jobs of the League 2 playoffs. So, you know, we don't want that.
No.
I'm just hoping, I'm pinning my hopes on the fact that this is going to be a really massive occasion for us as well. But we've got a little bit more experience of actually playing on that pitch. And that's going to carry us over the line.
See the thing I'm hoping for, because it's Morecambe's first time, there's a lot of emphasis on the day out for them, where we've been here for a 5th time now. We've had our day out here 4 times before, but we're here to win now, you know.
Exactly, and I mean, do you know what? There's a lot of psychology in sport, and well, you know. And there's a lot to be said about crossing that white line and expecting to win, and crossing the white line and hoping to win.
Yeah.
And I just think we might just shade them there. I just think that we play in a system now that we've become used to. It went awry. It went. When the pitch was poor, it disappeared. It's back again. They like playing that way. And we've got a little extra sort of experience, and I just think that might just carry us psychologically, crossing the white line, rather than just hoping to.
Yeah. So there's going to be a selection headache for Flynn, because his usual choice didn't become good at the beginning of the Forest Green game, and the substitutes changed it. I mean, does he keep faith in that starting lineup and expect the substitutes to make the same impact today, or does he want to go out from the beginning and get the players who actually performed last time into the lineup?
I'm in love! I think he tends to err on the side of caution. I think I know some people sometimes say that's a little bit unfair, he's got his favourites, but I think he'll stay. I think he'll stick with as much as he can with the 11 to start.
Oh no, Chris, it was for you, my endless love, I'm telling you.
I'm not sure. But I don't think he'll.
Oh, we're off to Vegas tomorrow morning, Mike.
Like I say, I'd like to think that the likes of Nicky Maynard and
best man saw this,
that would be a substitute, I think.
Best man, let's go, Lloyd.
I think that's a massive advantage to us, having the possibility of that impact on the bench later in the game.
The one thing I'm not sure of is how to get Dolan.
Well, 2 of the boys,
what does he do there? Lavity's fit, Dolan's fit, Harden's fit. Obviously, you're going to have to adjust. Does he put Bennett in midfield? It's a good headache to have.
For me, it's Lavity, Sheehan, Bennett in midfield, and then it's Dolan, Demetriou, Shepherd in defence.
I agree with that. I agree with that, and I will say that I've got to say this, like everyone else, I've only been watching on the iFollow this year, and I haven't been a great fan of Anthony Harden, but what I saw against Forest Green, the amount of work he put in, the tackles he made, it actually goes to show that when you're at the ground,
if you go look for his wife,
you see a completely different game. You see the work rate, you see the effort, you see the ground covered, you see the tackling, and he was quite exceptional. I thought, it just goes to show that he's earned this right in the team. So it's a good headache for Flinny to have.
Absolutely. That's the thing. It's going to be a headache for him, but at the end of the day, he's got a very capable team. But I'm going to go on a limb and say, if we play at our best, we win the game in 90 minutes.
I agree. I've got to be honest. I mean, as I said when we went up the top of the show here, right? For one of the better phrase, I'm confident. Maybe I'm scarily confident, but I really do think that today is our day.
I got the same feeling today that I had before the Wrexham final. I felt a lot. I didn't feel the same way today before the Tranmere game.
Listen, let's be fair about it. Wrexham outplayed us. They were fantastic on the day, but we got the result. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. I mean, we should have the ball. I mean, if the game pans out, if people are telling us what we've seen this season, we should have more of the ball. They should sit back a little bit, low block, let us come on to them. But I don't care one way or another, as long as we got more goals than them at the end. We got that silver pot, it's getting over the line.
And I think we definitely got the right brand of football to cope with League One football.
Yes, I do. Also, this picture, you know, it's going to suit us. I mean, Josh Sheehan is going to be disappointed because he hasn't got into the Welsh squad. And I think some people are saying, how's that going to go? I think it'll motivate him. I think he'll want to show everybody out there that maybe the Welsh management, whoever they are these days, have made a mistake.
Yeah.
Made a mistake, and he's got, you know, he might even be behind and move somewhere else. We don't know.
Yeah.
I think we need to go up to keep him. And
with that day, he'll be League One Championship.
And hopefully, Chris, he will perform today, and he will take us up to League One with him.
He's the kind of player that can do it, though, you know.
He can literally control this. Absolutely.
He's the man.
He's going to be the man. I'm a bit of an old fart now. I can remember years ago, Liverpool had a midfielder called Jan Mulvey.
Yeah.
And he never left the centre circle. He never left it.
He still ran the game, though, didn't he?
He was a bit on the tub. He signed a bit like me. Never left the centre circle, but he could pass any opposition off the field. And I'm hoping that Josh is going to be able to do that for us today.
Marvellous.
You know?
That's great. Thank you, Jeff.
All right, up the county.
Behind me, the score's 0-0 at the moment. We're about just over 25 minutes into the game. They're just off for a water break, and it is absolutely boiling out there at the moment. So we've had a bit of a slow start. I mean, we've had one or two little moments. Morecambe have had a couple of moments of their own. They're playing a bit more of a direct style of play than what we are at the moment. So I don't know what's in it. I don't know whether this is a game of chess playing he's playing, you know, taking it slow, and maybe we're going to fire on a little bit later in the game. But you know, there's plenty more to see. I think there's plenty more in us with the lineup that we've played. I think there's creativity from the wide areas still to come. So we're a bit route one with regards to trying to play Lewis Collins in with the ball over the top, and you know, we've caught a couple of decent balls and been caught offside once or twice. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. I mean, it's still plenty of the first half left. The game's early. It's not the most classic cup final you'll ever see, but like I say, plenty of time left. Okay then, so it's half time. I could barely talk again, like with the Forest Green game. Try and get some chance going, and your voice just croaks completely out of practice. But from the last point that I was talking to you guys, I mean, we come into the game a little bit more, but our approach is a bit slow at the moment, and I don't think we're looking to overcommit right now. I think there's obviously Forest Green in mind with this, because Morecambe have obviously come at us a little bit more. And if this is all they've got to come forward, I'm feeling confident going into the second half. It's just we've got to cause them a few more problems, because you know, you never know when something might happen and then they just threw on goal. I mean, they did get the one chance, which was a good block in the end. But you know, look, at the end of the day, I mean, it's 0-0 half time. There's a lot more to come from us. I don't know how much more there is to come from them. I think they've given us, I wouldn't say they've given us their best, but they've given us some attacking play, and we've dealt with the vast majority of it. We'll see. But then the players are becoming late shortly for the second half. I'm going to finish my bottle of water, and hopefully there's a bit more chanting to go, and we can roll them on and we can get the win. Come on, the Kingy. Then, so as you can see here behind me, 68 minutes gone, and in the 69th, they've gone for another drinks break now. We have come out a bit more attacking, you know, a bit more direct. We have got the ball forward a little bit more. We have got players making a few more runs into their box. You know, we've won a couple of corners. Like I say, it's still a very tight game. I mean, Morecambe obviously trying to attack as well. Yes, that's more like it. Fans have been a bit too quiet for my liking. This is more like it. But Morecambe are trying to attack, but they're not creating anything really concrete. So I don't know. The game hangs in the balance really. It depends. Flynn just brought Taylor on and Hartigan for Dolan and Lewis. It's obviously changed things around a little bit. I'm not sure if we've gone to a flat back four. We're playing three at front now. But Taylor's a bit of a bigger man up front. We need that. We're losing a lot of attacking headers, so hopefully he'll be that bit of a physical presence, and we can retain the ball in their half a little bit more often. We'll see. Evan Ellison's just come on with 3 minutes ago. Could this be the start of something? Let's see. So full time, 0-0, extra time coming. I gotta be fair, I absolutely bloody hate this so much, but I love it at the same time. It's all good. If I'm going to fancy anybody in extra time, it's going to be us, because I think the way the course of the game has gone, we've attacked stronger towards the end of the game, so hopefully we can continue that into extra time, but God knows what's going to happen now. God knows. We'll see. Half time and extra time, as you can see, they're still 0-0. They haven't really broken us down, but we had an absolutely glorious chance. Didn't see how close it was until you seen the replay on the screen. I mean, it was like 2 yards in front of goal, tap in, and it's obviously, I think it was Ellison got in the way of Labardi. I think Ellison was going for it and just missed it. It came to Labardi, but then it came to him awkwardly and it went over. But I don't fancy penalties. I never do, to be honest with you. But then I didn't fancy penalties when we beat Mansfield on penalties, and I suppose if you think about it, we're due a penalty win because we've lost our last 3 penalty shootouts, I think. In like key games, obviously Newcastle, Brighton and Salford last season. So I'd say we're due a win on penalties, but we got like Podge and Dolan are not on the pitch at the moment. So, who else is there to take a penalty? Demetriou. Who else really, So we'll have to wait and see. I'm hoping we can pinch it now in this second half, but if not, it will be penalties. Couldn't see it, they didn't show a replay on the screen. I don't know, can't comment on it, but we're losing. But it's right at the beginning of the half, so now we have to go all out and attack now. There's no patient build-up, we got to go at them. Let's see how it can go. I've been getting messages during that, and they were saying that it was never a penalty, it was outside the box. We've been absolutely tucked up yet again. Tucked up in the playoff final yet again. I need to see it for myself, but people seem pretty fucking certain that it was never a penalty and we've been absolutely tucked up again. Apparently, I've also been sent a message saying that we should have had a penalty on Scott Bennett in the first half as well. We've been tucked up again. I don't know what else to say. The day after the game, I'm back home now. To be honest with you, where I usually would have done my recording on the day somewhere, I didn't want to be in that place any longer. We basically rushed as quickly as we could to the tube, took the tube to where I was parked at the hotel we stayed at, and just got in the car, grabbed the McDonald's and went. Couldn't get out of London quick enough. As Newport County fans, we've always had a bit of a love affair with Wembley. I mean, we went for a first time and we lost the FA Trophy final, but losing that final didn't matter. We had a great day out, and that was all that mattered. The next time we went was Wrexham, and we won fairly. And I'm going to put emphasis on fairly because there's going to be another couple that come up where it wasn't fair. Then there was Tottenham in the FA Cup, which there wasn't a significant thing about that. It was we got to go to Wembley to play Tottenham in an FA Cup replay, which was great, and the result didn't matter, really. I mean, obviously it would have been nice to win, but I don't think anyone really expected us to, and I think we played well in that game anyway. But then Tranmere was tough to take. It was a heartbreaker because there were decisions that went against us. The big decisions went completely in their favour. And then, and it hurt. And it still hurts to this day. But yesterday was just a cut above anything I've ever seen before in football. I mean, I think the only time you could really compare what I witnessed yesterday. I don't know how anyone else saw it. I can't comment for how anyone else saw the game. But the only thing I could compare it to is the time Chelsea went out of the semi-final of the Champions League to Barcelona, and it was the controversy regarding the refereeing performance then, which got Didier Drogba in hot water for saying it was an effing disgrace on live TV. I had to agree with Didier on that night. It was an effing disgrace, but yesterday was also an effing disgrace. I think football, anyone who's a neutral football fan will look at that game and will, well, how can I describe this in the right way? I wouldn't say fall out of love with the game because of it, but to witness that and think that that's possible, that could actually happen to my club, not just to Newport, but that kind of thing in a game that big could actually happen to my club one day. They got to look at that, and like I say, I wouldn't say fall out of love with football, but change their outlook on football in general and think, surely this can't be allowed to happen to anybody else. I mean, it happened to us, and it's happened to us for a second time. You're thinking, surely it can't happen to us. Surely it can't happen to us again. We thought that after Tranmere, surely we're not going to lose in similar circumstances. But it was worse. The decisions were outright worse. The penalty for me was more of a penalty than the Jammer one. After seeing it back, I didn't even know we had a penalty shape because obviously it was at the other end of the ground to us. I just seen, keeper coming out for the ball, a bit of a tangle, and a couple of our players, appealing for something. Didn't see much. I've seen it since, and there's 2 fists into his face. That's assault. That's not even a penalty and a red card. But that's assault. That's just him locked up in a frigging cell for the night. And charged. Let alone giving the penalty and the red card, and that would have changed the game. And rightfully so, because it would have been the right decision. Then their penalty is an absolute joke. Ryan Haynes does nothing but lean into him with his shoulder, as a lot of defenders do, as a lot of their defenders are doing to us, and fairly, it's fair challenge. Football is a contact sport. And Ryan Haynes made legal contact with that player, and that player took a tumble into the box, hoping the referee was going to give a penalty. So obviously there's comments that it's not really Morecambe's fault. That player has deceived the referee as well. The referee, an ex-Premier League referee, a disgraced referee that was sacked by the Premier League. How he's reffing still is beyond me, if that's the case. But surely someone of his experience got to look at that and think, no, he's trying to mug me off there. No, but he just couldn't wait to give the penalty. He'd been giving them a lot of the smaller decisions all day. He didn't give us the penalty that we should have had in the first half. And how does he look at that and think, yeah, I've got to give that a penalty for that? There's nothing in it, and it's outside the box. Doesn't matter if there's a fine margin to it. It's not even a foul. The guy's taking a tumble, hoping to God the referee was going to give him something because they couldn't create anything else in the game. That game was only going to be won in open play in the 120 minutes by one team, and that was going to be us, because they'd created one off chance from a tight angle, which their fans think, oh, we were so unlucky not to score that, which is crap. I mean, the guy didn't have the angle. He hit it. Whether the keeper was going to stop it or whether one of our players were going to stop it, it was never going to go in. And I was looking at it. It was right in front of me. I looked down at it. I thought, nah, he's not scoring there. And he didn't. There were times I thought we'd scored. The Bennett chance that looped, the deflected and looped into the side netting, I thought they'd gone in. And the Labardi chance, I think Ellison was desperate to get his foot onto it and just missed it. That put Labardi off, I think. And I think if Ellison's not there, Labardi touches it into an open net. But Ellison, you can't deny him the opportunity to potentially score that goal, because it was written in the script that he was going to score the winner. That's why he was brought on. There's a lot of people saying Lewis Collins shouldn't have been taken off, but at that particular time, we weren't creating the chances. He was getting in behind that guy, but there was nothing coming from it. And that's the thing. We had to try something different. And to try something different, you've got to take one player off and put another one on. Unfortunately, Lewis was the one who came off. I mean, was he going to score the goal himself? I mean, I mean, the centre backs seem to have his number as they did with a lot of our players. Was Ryan Taylor the right player to bring on? Probably not. Could Joe Ledley have played apart from the midfield in that game? Potentially. I think Joe Ledley, I wonder why we bothered signing him, because he's barely played a game for us since he signed. He's just picked up his cheque and he'll move on now. But look, no, I'm not going to dwell on that kind of thing. At the end of the day, I thought it was a very tight game with a team that finished above us in the league. You got to note, because like I said, I've mentioned it on Facebook. I'm not having any of the comments from anybody basically saying that, but then we should have done this better, we should have done that better. If we had the perfect team capable of doing all the things that everyone says that we should be doing better, we'd have won the title with ease, as would anybody if they had that in their squad. You can't just expect miracles to happen. There is another team that we're playing against. It isn't all about what Newport County can do. It's it's a 50-50 thing. It's about what the other club can do and how they're going to try and stop us from doing what we want to do. And if they're capable of stopping us, they're capable of stopping us at the end of the day. Like Morecambe were capable of stopping us. We can't criticise our players, because we couldn't get around their defence. Their defence was solid that game. Their defence was solid, although we did get around them a couple of times and we were unlucky not to score a goal. But you've got to realise there are two teams in it. You can't be all about Newport County. But the thing is, the referee, he should be reminded that there was two teams in it, and it can't be all about him and Morecambe. He's done Newport County over, and I hope he gets to watch this. I hope this reaches him somehow. It probably won't. He'll probably go away and think there's no skin off his back. But, there's a lot of people out there who were devastated by it and wouldn't have been as devastated if we'd have lost the game fairly. But there we go. I'll wrap up this blog. I'm thinking of maybe doing a video about the day itself, a separate Taff's word on Wembley Stadium and the EFL. Their decision not to put VAR in, their decision to put a referee like that in, and for him to make those mistakes. Are they going to come out and apologise and admit that they'd done wrong by allowing him to referee that game? Because he completely cocked it up. Or Wembley Stadium and their stewarding on us was borderline harassment. They were all over you for everything. And people were taking their mask down just to try and breathe. And they were being shouted at and being threatened with ejection from the stadium. I think a few people did get ejected for just questioning them and why they're being so strict and why the Morecambe end were allowed to congregate, stand up and take their masks off. Because the moment we try standing up, sit back down please, mask back on, no you can't sit there, move back to that designated seat or we will have to eject you. That's all we got. And then over in that end, they all congregated. They were able to get their atmosphere. We were too spread out to be able to do much. We tried to start some things and it was just difficult for it to spread. You've got to question some of the fans who went. Why even bother if you're not even going to support the team? If it's just a day out for you, why don't you just take a day out to freaking Morecambe Park or something like that and let the real fans get the tickets? But that's another rant for another day anyway. I don't want to overextend this, but I'm distraught. I'm absolutely gutted. I think we've been robbed for a second consecutive playoff final. Something needs to be done about it, whether our club have got any leg room to do something, to appeal to the EFL for something. What we would get, we wouldn't. They can't overturn the result. They can't, as much as I believe the Morecambe players cheated, Morecambe Football Club are not responsible for it. Their referee is. What we can do about it, I don't know. There's nothing. But as a football club, if I was on that board, that would be one of the first things I'd request, is that we need to sit down with the EFL and for them to explain themselves, basically, and explain their referee. And, what retribution is there for a club that's been done out of a playoff final for 2 consecutive appearances? There's nothing, really. But surely they got an explanation. Surely that they can explain and settle us in some way. I don't know. Like I say, I'm asking for a miracle here, but, I'm asking for something that doesn't exist even. But, answers would be nice. Answers and an apology would be a start, I suppose. And then whatever comes after that, then we'll see. But we won't even get any of them, because the EFL don't give a shit. The Football League are a bunch of arseholes, and they always will be, and they don't care. All they care about is that they get the publicity from the little Morecambe team that defied the odds and got promoted when they were favourites to go down. That's all they care about, is their publicity and how much money they can make out of that little story. Fuck them all. I mean, if the Welsh League wasn't so shit, I would say to ditch the frickin' English League, but it's where we belong, it's where we've always been, and that's where we always will be. Like I say, if the Welsh League, if Cardiff and Swansea, you know, and Merthyr and Wrexham were all in the Welsh League, I'd say, yeah, let's just make it a Welsh thing and fuck the English, and we'll just get into Europe every season. You know, well, not every season, but we could get into Europe. But the league standard is too poor because the Welsh FA don't care either. I could rant on all day about all of this, but I'm not going to. I'm sorry, this time I am going. Cheerio for now. I mean, I'd like to say I hope you enjoyed the video, but, you know, I hope you get something out of it, you know, from watching it. But thanks anyway for watching, and until next time, we'll see you next season. Cheerio for now, and as always, up the county.